Alright, so we're back for another game. They've returned. The Guard are back to play against the Tyranids. Gord and I have been long overdue for a game for, what, 3 years now? So, very happy to be back playing against the Guard. So I brought 2,000 points of Tyranids. Gonna go over my list here now. I brought Leviathan, Brigade, Detachment here. So starting off with my HQs, I got, I'm gonna say this guy is the Warlord. We'll just go with that one. So they're both loaded out the exact same, aside from one being the Warlord. So going over these two Tyrants, they have wings, 1 or 2 Brain Leech Devours, Monstrous Rending Claws, Toxin Sacs, and Adrenal Glands, Catalyst, and Psychic Scream. So I thought they're going to be a lot of fun to use. I brought a Malanthrope as my third HQ choice. In the troop slot, I brought 3 units of 10 Termagants. I brought 6 warriors. They are going to be proxied a little bit. This guy, we'll say, actually has the Venom cannon. The rest of them all have, actually, most of them have Deathspitters, so that Barb Strangler actually is different. But then they also all have Boneswords as well. And they also spent a CP to get an additional adaptive physiology. And they have the, I can't remember what it's called, but EP -1 and -2 they don't care about. And my Tyrant gave an adaptive physiology to a different unit, but we'll see him shortly. I have 2 Tyrannofexes with Acid Spray. I'm really eager to see how these guys do. Super tanky, they're going to be rolling around with the Malanthrope. But a Chronos Detachment, of course, with a Neurothrope as the HQ with Symbiostorm. I brought 5 Zonethropes with Symbiostorm as well. I just really want to ensure the power goes off. I was going to bring Psychic Scream or Catalyst with these guys, but where the Tyrants already have it, I figured it's not a whole lot of point. I should just guarantee that my Symbiostorm gets off. 3 Hive Guard, 3 Rippers, and an Exocrine who has Dermic Symbiosis as the adaptive physiology from the Hive Tyrant. So that's 2,000 points of Tyranids.
Hey everybody, it's Gord back here with some Shiny Guard. I'm sure you've all missed them. Today I am running a battalion of Catachan as well as a Spearhead Detachment. I messed up in list detachment building. I forgot that Marbo was an HQ, so my list was legal and I had to muck some things about. But I just really wanted to play Marbo because he's an old favorite of mine. So, for HQs for the battalion here, I have 3 tank commanders, put it out the exact same. This one here will be the Warlord. He's giving up his Warlord trait for a tank ace, so I'll go over that later. But we have 3 Demolisher cannons and 3 Las cannons on the tank commanders. Then for troops, I have 4 infantry squads. Each one of them are also bring along with them a Chimera with multi-laser and heavy flamer. Then I have my 2 trusty Hellhounds with heavy flamers. And then in my Spearhead Detachment, we have grand old Marbo here, ready to sneak in and murder some more stuff. He can no longer blow himself up, so that's amazing. So I have a squad of 2 Wyvern with heavy flamers and their quad mortars, and then 2 Manticores with heavy flamers, and I paid an additional CP for a second tank ace, and they both have full payloads for the flat damage. And because I just heard about this from Brandon Grant, I thought that sounds so cheesy and amazing. I'm giving them each for 5 points a Hunter Killer Missile for that sweet flat 6 damage shot. And that is my list, so we'll be back with deployments.
So we went ahead and deployed. I know we usually show the table, but we've been chatting, catching up, so we were really into it. So let's take a look. The Tyranids are on this side. He won the roll-off and let me pick, he chose to be the attacker, and I was the defender. I think I got that right. Yep. So I'm on this side. We are playing the Grand Tournament mission, Retrieval. So for objectives, I took Bring It Down, Engage on All Fronts, and what was my other one? And the banners. The banners. Love the banners. So looking at my zone here, I got my Gaunts set up to come out, take objectives here. I got them kind of. I know he's going to hit them no matter what. But if I can reduce the amount of Chimera fire coming in them too, it's going to help keep them alive. So deployed in the middle here, placing my Malanthrope in the center, making sure that he can't be targeted while giving out some solid buffs. And over this way, the Hive Guard are chilling right there with the Zoanthropes, the Exocrine, and the Neurothrope. Literally deployed the Exocrine till the end. We were both waiting one another out. He's not liking the Exocrine. If I lose him, it's going to be rough. Over this way, the Guard corner. Get the Manticore, 2 of the Wyverns. The other Manticore's over there. Got Chimeras galore all up here. 1 Hellhound, the other one is there, and the 3 Lehman Russes kind of clustered in the middle, and then Marbo's obviously hiding away and doing Marbo-like stuff. So the big roll is probably going to determine most of this game. Do I get to punch in and attack him first, or do I have to weather this painful storm that's coming my way? Let's take a look. First turn. 3 and 5. Oh, this is going to be rough for the Tyranids.
Guard are taking turn 1.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. So, and then your secondaries as well are
Grind them down.
grind them down.
Bring it down. And raise the banners high.
Yeah, banners. All right. So it's going to be a tough match, but very excited to see how it plays out. So let's come back after guard. Turn 1. All right. So that's the end of guard turn 1. Brutal turn for me. My Exocrine is no longer with us. Rip. He got blasted by the Manticore.
Both Manticores.
Both Manticores, yeah. So, I mean, he probably would have lived, but you rolled pretty good on that second one.
The second one,
yeah. Second one, he had, I think 10
I think it did 9 damage to a total in the second one.
So really good rolling there. My Tyrannofex got taken out. Actually, he rolled insane with that one as well. The
2 Tank Commander Demolishers into it to take him out.
Yeah. So you, what'd you do? You did something like...
I think I did...
It was crazy.
It only took the first demo shot.
A lot of wounds.
And I think I did 15 damage total to him.
Yeah, so...
Between the 2 of them shooting, and I still had another Demolisher shot. And the Las Cannon on the second one. Yeah, so I probably should have moved my Malanthrope in between both of them, but I was trying to space them out to like kind of spread him. So a little, I don't think it would have mattered though. You rolled an insane amount of shots. Yeah. At least for him. So then the rest of the forces moved up. Banners are raised. Raised 1 here, and 1 here. And then 6 points in total for bring it down, correct? Yes. And then you killed 4. Killed 5 guys here. 5 of those. From both Wyvern shooting. And I did 4 wounds to this guy. Yeah. Oh, and my Exocrine blew up. Yeah. Thankfully, if he had killed a Hive Guard, it would have been really grim. It already is grim right now, and killed 3 Goths. So that's it for Guard turn 1. So good start to the game. I really needed that first turn. But we'll see if I can come back and salvage. Alright, so end of Tyranids turn 1. So really interesting turn. This next, we'll talk about it shortly. We'll go over everything that happened first. So my Gaunts move back this way, getting out of Wyvern range of at least one of them. The others, no matter what, they're going to get hit. Raise my banner here. Over this way, the Zoanthropes moved up with the Neurothrope. Got some Symbiote Storm off on the Hive Guard. Between all the smiting with these guys. Dropped down the Hellhound a bunch. Then the Hive Guard shot him first. Didn't get any 6s. Did a bit of damage. Double shot and went off with, I think, like 7 hits. So really good there. The CP pain. It's worth there. So the Hive Tyrant jumped up. Super very technical moving over here. So I made a charge with the exact amount to jump over on that side where I have Fly to get this tank and the guardsmen in combat. I killed off enough of them that they were pulled away this way, so I could pile in, get an engagement range of that tank. So these tanks are all touched, so looking a bit better over here, but still he's got those Manticores, which I don't like. Then over this way, the Warriors moved up. I actually did really good with the Deathspitters. I chipped down the former Chimera, I think 2 wounds, then I whiffed with the Venom Cannon. I hate them. I'm going to do a good in this next turn. The Malanthrope moved up. He attempted a charge because if I made it forward, it could have helped. And if I killed a unit with him, then I would have got that adaptive prey or something. I can't remember the name, but that ability would have been beneficial. But the Tyrannofex moved up, took out the Hellhound. I used my stratagem, or Chimera, yeah, the Hellhound's still alive. Took out the Chimera,
in close combat, but uses acid spray with the pathogenic slime to drop it down a bit. Just I got to get up there with him. Then the Tyrant right over here moved up, made a really decent charge distance, got in the back there, got an engagement range of the Chimera, the Guardsmen over there, and the tank. So then he split his attacks, finished the Chimera off, finished the Guardsmen off, and then he was spaced enough that he could pile in over this way, getting into engagement range of that tank. So it's going to be interesting. I got banners up here and here. I took away one of his banners here, so it makes up for the one I didn't get. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Guard retaliate. It's not over yet, but if those mana cores hit hard again, oh, it's not going to be good. I don't like them. So come back after Guard turn. All right, that's the end of Imperial Guard turn 2. So starting on this side of the board, the Chimera's moved up. Flamered in. Took my gaunts down to just 3 of them there. Managed to chip off a wound off one of the Zoanthropes. My gaunts actually, there actually is another one there too. It was tucked away. But they passed morale. Excuse me, thankfully. I was just going to risk it for the biscuit. They were going to stay alive no matter what, so that way I can control this objective still, right on this side. He did take my banner off of it though, which is alright. Over here, the Tyrant actually did a ton of wounds. He just stayed in combat with them, because if he pulled them out, it would have gave the Tyrant a little bit of freedom to do what he wants, and he does not want that. So
I shot with both their las cannons, hit both, wounded both, but he made both his 4-up invols. I was really hoping to do some chip damage there, because I knew if I fell back, they weren't going to be shooting, and then he'd have the freedom to move away from me. And he still has the freedom to move away from me, but the las cannons are basically just free shots, so it wasn't worth it for me to fall back.
yeah,
I mean, in hindsight, maybe it would have been, because I could have manticored him, but
the other Manticore did insanely well.
yes, this manticore here in the corner, he had line of sight to the Hive Tyrant here, so my 2 tanks fell back. I popped the 1 CP strat to get +1 to hit if you have line of sight. I fired my Hunter Seeker missile, which he made the invol on, luckily, because that would have been a flat 6 damage. But the Manticore's missiles, the Storm Eagle rockets, I had a massive 11 shots, and I think I wounded you 8 times with them. So a total of, I think, 15 damage went through. And yeah, just blew him off that point. The other Manticore fired into this Tyrannofex here. I managed to do another 6 wounds to him. Oh, sorry, 5 wounds to him. I was hoping to clear him off too. And between the 2 Wyvern shootings, I was able to kill off these last 5 gaunts with a couple pot shots over here. In hindsight, I kind of forgot about the -1 to hit from him. I should have pumped all their shots in the gaunts in here and let the quad mortars clear them out. But, I mean, hindsight's 20/20, so.
And you scored a total of...
I scored a total of, on this turn, 14 points.
14.
10 for the primaries, 1 for the banner, because I only have 1 banner up, and 3 for killing the Hive Tyrant.
Yep. Alright, so it's time for Tyranids turn 2. End of Tyranids turn 2, another super technical turn. I hit back hard, but I don't know if it'll be enough. It will be interesting to see. It's going to depend, again, on those mana cores. So going over the points I got 10 in total for my holding. I got 1 for my banner, right here. I also, I was a fool and shot my gaunts. I probably should have raised the banner again on them, but that's alright. It's only a point. And then the Rippers came up. Since it's technically not in the moving phase of like the reinforcement phase, I couldn't put my banner up until next turn, as I found out. So the Warriors moved up, shot in at the Hellhound. The Warriors double tapped there, dropped them down a ton of wounds. And then afterwards, the Tyrannofex moved up, cleared off the one last dude over there, charged in at this tank to help out the Tyrant. The Tyrant finished him off. I used my fight again stratagem to pile in over here and just get into
engagement range of this last tank.
Just to bad touch him. And then between the Zoanthropes and the Hive Guard, I blew up the first Chimera, then blocked him there to maintain that objective. So that's it. I maxed out on my Bring It Down, which is nice. So looking good on that front. We'll come back after Guard, turn 3.
Okay, so turn 3 for the Guard went pretty well. Over here, the Demolisher fell back to expose the Flying Hive Tyrant. And then the Manticore popped the 1 CP strat. This time, the Hunter Killer Missile went through for the flat 6 damage. And that, on top of the flat 3 damage Storm Eagle rockets, I was able to down him. I stayed in combat here, tried to peg those last 3 wounds off him. I ended up doing 1 wound in close combat to him. Over here, these 2 Wyverns went hot, and I was able to kill off the 3 Rippers and the 10 Gaunts over here. And then the Storm Eagle rockets from this Manticore managed to take him down to just 2 wounds. He made 2 of his 6-up Leviathan saves. So at the end of my turn, I'm on 2 objectives still, here and here, with 1 banner raised only. And that turn I got another 14 points, 2 for being on objectives, 1 for the banner, and 3 for killing that Flying Hive Tyrant. So we are on to Tyranids, turn 3.
Alright, that's the end of Tyranids turn 3. So this game is very down to the wire. Over this way, some pretty key things happened. We'll start off talking about the Hive Guard. They fired in at the tank here, dropping down 6 wounds, so rolling really well for that. Then the Zoanthropes, they piled in around just to block out where he can move. The Neurothrop made an Unreal 10 charge just to touch this tank, so he's really going to have to, if the guys come out, he may lose a couple, or he can only go within 3 inches, or the tank can do its emergency thing. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens there. Actually, you don't have CP too. Malanthrope moved back inside the cover there to hold that objective. Then over this way, the Warriors retreated into the cover just with their adaptive physiology. They're actually going to be pretty tanky on that. And the Tyrannofex, I think I dropped you, 6 wounds? Yeah, 7 wounds with the acid spray even in there. So really sweet, really fortunate on that. So now, though, we're going into Guard turn 3. I got, or turn 4, sorry. I got a total of 15 points that turn. I'm also maxed out on my big guns. I have my engage on all fronts is being close to max out as well, so doing quite well for objectives for the Tyrants, but thinning out on resources. So we'll come back after Guard turn 4.
Alright, end of Guard turn 4. Manticores finally finished off all their shots. They took out the Neurothrop over here. It took both of them to do it, as well as 1 of the Wyverns. The other Wyvern fired in and cleared the Gaunts off the objective inside here. This Chimera got lucky and was able to kill off the Tyrannofex that was here. And Marble came in and was able to charge the Malanthrope so that I can contest that objective and also pull down his banner. So the end of start of this turn, I got 11 points for holding 2 objectives and 1 for my banner. And at the end of last turn, I got my 3 objectives for grind them down. So on to Nid's turn 4.
Into Tyranids turn 4, so super disappointing turn. I had to move the Hive Guard to get the objective there. If I did not, that would have been it. I blew up the tank there with my smites, but again, still far from this objective. I really should have kept my Zoanthrope back there. So had I done that, actually probably would have sealed the game for me. But split fired the Hive Guard, whiffed the rolls, literally whiffed it. Got a 1 to wound on him. I got my 1 command point back, rolled a 2 and a 1, re-rolled 1 of the 1s, and then rolled a 1 to wound him. So very unfortunate.
These guys took him
Warriors,
down.
yeah, took him down 3 wounds. So they almost finished him off, and Hive Guard also tried to fire at him, but again, so I did make a charge though and tied up his tank, and that way I'll be able to smite it for sure next turn. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. So you have a total of 54 points to my 57.
Yes.
So very close game still. So still one more turn, and we'll see what happens. All right, folks.
So close.
So insanely tight end of the game there. We didn't actually end up playing at the last turn for the Tyranids. We tallied up the points. A few key things had to happen for him to take the victory. Number one, he had to kill more units than I would kill.
Yes,
so
I had to kill here, and
you killed the warriors.
I
with
had to
everything.
kill the. Yeah, it took too much to kill the warriors. That I couldn't kill him. My shooting against him failed, and then the charge with Marble failed.
Yeah, so he had to come in, or else, yeah, he had because he had to because if he didn't guarantee that kill, even with denying me the 5 points that I would have got for primaries, I would have been hit by a head. I think 2 points or so with the banners. So overall, super tight game. Very interesting playing with the new table size. It definitely wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Losing my extra trying turn 1 really stunk. But overall, I would say, in terms of dice favor, I think it kind of went back and forth. It was really good for me at the start. Then at the end, your Manticores and Wyverns went off. So, very good matchup. We'll definitely be playing again in the very near future. Probably seeing some Salamanders and maybe some Space Wolves showing down. Or Tau, we'll see. But the Tau, Space Wolves, and Imperial Guard are back. So thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.